Hey guys, it's FandomsxListener back again with another FandomsxListener video here, and today I bring you Mutant Mayhem Donnie, and I bet someone in the comments is gonna be like, or at least a hater is gonna come across and be like, but the movie hasn't even came out yet, who the fuck cares? But today I bring you Mutant Mayhem Donnie, and I'm going to try my best to do I guess 14-year-old teenager who sounds like a 9-year-old Fortnite kid. At least that's what he sounded like when he screamed. But anyways, my Instagram, Discord link server, SoundCloud, songs that I use, and everything else will be in the description below. And yes, I'm back, but the bad news is I'm out of data, so I'm having to use a Wi-Fi router, I guess, or a hotspot for now before I get data again tomorrow because I have my own money. But before I just start wasting more of your time, let's get straight into the video. Before we get started into this video, I just have to say, take a sip of this coffee, of course. But anyways, I had to make a separate album for this for this image or every other Mutant Mayhem photo I have, because it's like a living hell to look for every other photo that I have. But anyways, let's get straight into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. It was like none other day in New York City. Busy, city lights, noises, etc. You had just gotten off school and work. First you went to school, then you got off work. It was sorta late, let's say. April had gotten your things from college and dropped them off at your house. She passed you a text and said, "Hey, listener, I just dropped your things off. I'll see you back at school." You texted her back and said, "Yeah, see you, April. Thank you very much." You decided to take a shortcut home, but since it was a little foggy from the heavy rain that happened last night, you decided to it was very foggy. So you accidentally ended up taking the wrong route. You stepped into this dead end, but because of the fog, you didn't see. You ended up falling into a sewer. Someone had left the sewer cover open. It was a very big boom, thud. You hit your head pretty hard on the ground, making you feel very dizzy, or slightly dizzy. Ugh, ow, my head, ow, you said as you got up. Is that blood on the ground? Ow. You said as you felt your nose a little bit, seeing that you had a tiny nosebleed. Oh well, nothing but a couple of tissues can't fix. You got out a tissue that you had in your pocket and started to wipe the nosebleed off. You saw this figure, or you heard footsteps from nearby. Of course, you looked up and said, "Who's there?" And you saw that the figure, it had jumped a bit. "Quote unquote, it." You yelled out a little bit, "Who's there? Anyone down here?" The figure said, "Hello?" You heard a small childish voice, sounding like it was a small child or a toddler stuck in the sewers, and you said, "Where's your mother?" The figure chuckled. "Mother? What do you mean by that?" You replied, "Aren't you lost down here?" The figure slowly stepped out and with a smile on their face. "I'm not a kid. I just sound like one." Your eyes widened as you backed up a little. You said in a nervous tone. I beg your pardon. That was so rude of me. I know, it looks weird. A mutant turtle. I know what you're thinking. I'm on drugs. I'm tripping. Probably. No, you are not. I'm Donatello. Or Donnie for short. He smiled at you and looked down at the little bit of blood you had spilled on the floor from the fall. He looked up, seeing that the sewer cover was left open, and he sighed, slightly face-palming. Mikey left the sewer cover open again. You tilted your head and said, Mikey? Well, Mikey is one of my brothers. You, surprised again, said, There's more of you? Donatello replied, Shh, not so loud. I don't want my brothers finding out you're here. Brothers? Yeah. Look, you should get back up there. I have a few things to do. How about I see you around? But where? You replied, putting your backpack back on. Don't you live on one of the buildings over there? Near this street? You, weirdly confused, said, how do you know that? I just kind of know everything. I'll meet you on your apartment rooftop, okay? I gotta go. Here. He handed you a bandage. I'll see you around. Bye. He didn't get your name, so he didn't really know you, but he knew where you lived. You getting back up, because there was a ladder to get back up, you went back home, and of course you got yourself a glass of water and cleaned off your nosebleed and maybe washed your face a little with cold water and thought to yourself, what just happened? Was that even real? Did I fall asleep in class? You asked Fluffball, your cat, to give you a scratch or something. And of course, your cat, being lovable, just didn't want to give you a scratch. You flicked yourself, and of course, it hurt very much. And you called yourself an idiot for it because you just gave yourself more pain after the nosebleed you just had. After a while, you were just spinning in your chair, trying to think of what to write for an essay you had to do for college. Why is this so hard? I literally had a ton of ideas while I was at work. You sighed in exhaustion. This is exhausting and tiring. You reminded yourself, wait, don't I have to meet up with that mute kid? You thought to yourself, your cat purring between your legs. Thanks for the reminder, Fluffball. You got your small messenger bag, climbing up the ladder to your apartment rooftop. You got out something to drink and patiently waited. He didn't really say what timing, but you thought he meant at least in the afternoon or sunset. Take a sip of this coffee. Donatello arrived around 8 p.m. You were already dozing off from the exhaustion from work and college. He showed up from behind you and gave you a small tap, startling you. Whoa. Oh, hey, sorry. Didn't mean to startle you. I didn't quite catch your name, he said, sitting down next to you. Oh, it's Listener. And you're Donatello, correct? Yeah, Donnie for short. That's what I prefer the most. He put his staff down and sat down next to you. And you, not awkwardly but nervously, said, So, Donnie, what's up? You gave a soft but slightly nervous smile. He chuckled and said, I know, it's weird talking to a mutant turtle out of the blue, but, Nothing much. I just kind of thought you were a cool person, even though you looked pretty hurt at the moment. I just thought maybe we could be friends or something. Maybe you could even meet my brothers. I know I'm maybe being too forward about things. And for I don't know what his age is, because we're probably only going to get theories or conspiracy theories after the movie comes out in August. But I'm guessing he's at least 14 years old, I guess. But in my videos, you know how I am, I'm going to make him 16, 17. That's it. For a 16-year-old, I sound like a kid, he said, making a slight pouty face, crossing his arms. You chuckled and said, I think it's cute. You complimented him. He felt his face slightly heat up. He looked at you and said, You think so, listener? A 16-year-old with a kid's voice. Very funny. He looked down at the city, quote unquote. Well, in my opinion, I think it's cute. Because it's more unique, you know? Finding, like, what? An adult that sounds like a kid is rare these days, I guess. Depending. If they didn't have surgery to change your voice, I guess. He laughed. You both laughed. And you said, Well, like I was saying earlier about my brothers, we have Michelangelo, the youngest, Leo, the eldest, and Raph, the second middle, or the second eldest middle, I guess. And I'm the middle. And yeah. He looked down, doing the shy or fidgeting with his fingers. ADHD? You looked over at him and said, Well, could you tell me more about your brothers? He looked at you with small sparkles in his eyes and said, Really? You'd like to know? You nodded, and he started basically ranting about his brothers, starting with Leo. Well, Leo, like I said, he's the eldest, wisest, and leader. You tilted your head. Leader? I'll tell you that later. He has these 2 katanas, or swords. And, you know, he just kind of gave you that culturistic conspiracy theory on why he has 2 katanas, because I kind of forgot. Yeah, that's Leo. But sometimes he can be fun. Then we have Raph. The main thing you can get about Raph is his anger issues. But he is a really fun kid. Or he is a really fun guy. He's learned to control his anger issues, and he's been more calm now. His weapon, if you're wondering, is 2 really sharp sais. When Sensei told us to switch weapons and I had to use his sais one time, it was a really big struggle. I had cuts all over my hands. You chuckled and said, I bet. Sais are tricky. I worked at this old culturistic Japanese shop and they had sais. I had to clean it and man, they were really sharp. Yeah, I don't know what he does to keep those sharp, but he does a good job at it. Then we have neatest but last, Mikey. Mikey, he's the most fun of us all. Youngest, of course. He loves pizza. We love pizza too, but if he could just have one power, it would just be to get pizza all the time. Like April, and right as he says April, you interrupted him and said, Wait, you guys know April? Like April O'Neil? Yeah, April O'Neil. She's the one that gets us pizza all the time. And then you had little sparkles in your eyes and said, That's my best friend. We go to college together. You two were stimming about having the same best friend and etc., etc. Well, and that's all you need to know about them. And then you questionably said, and what about you? You just casually pointed at where, what? You either pointed at his heart or you either pointed at his chest, aka chest plate. Take a sip of this coffee. He blushed a little that you questioned about him and said, well, there's nothing much to know about me. I guess I'd say I'm kind of boring. Sometimes I'm always on my phone, classic, listening to music or trying to learn new things. I read lots of books and the main thing I do is create things. You tilted your head once more and said, what kind of creations? Like technology. I have this robot named Metalhead. I think you would also have Sheldon, like Mutant Mayhem, Donnie. I think you would have Metalhead and Sheldon. Just hear me out. Theory. And I also have this little floating sort of turtleish bot named Sheldon. I have a bunch of monitors in my room. Of course, I always have coffee with me. Or do you drink any kind of energy drinks? You both said at the same time, Monster Energy. You two stemmed about you two were just bonding, you know. And yeah, I just have tons of tools and wires and things I need in my room. You had like a galaxy in your eyes, just tons of sparkles. He looked at you and said, listener, are you okay? Once again interrupted, you said, don't you know how cool it is just to create things? Like, I wish I knew how to make inventions like you. He rubbed the back of his neck nervously and said, really? I never heard that before. But thank you. That really means a lot to me. Well, besides all the invention stuff, do you want to go out to get something to maybe, like, not really eat, but kind of like a snack or something to drink? Like, he pointed over to a gas station nearby. Like, there. Yeah? You tilted your head and then chuckled. Yeah, I'm not that hungry. I had, like, pizza 30 minutes ago. You two went down to the gas station and got yourself some drinks. Well, you went down and got you and Donnie drinks, going back to the rooftop and chatting all day long. Once Donnie checked the time, it was already 11 p.m. Holy, listener, I really have to go. And then you looked up at him and said, wait, really? What time is it? You checked your phone. Oh my god, Donnie, I'm so sorry I took up so much of your time. No, it's okay. Here. I was actually working on this yesterday. Just use any charging cable and just see if it works. He passed you this sort of shell phone. I'm sorry, I know it's T-phone. It's just because shell phone, because the first thing that you're gonna think about when you see a phone that looks like a shell is a shell phone, you know what I mean? He passed you this phone that also looked like a shell, so you thought it was a cell phone at first, and he said, well, I really gotta go. I have training to do, and my brother are probably worried about me. I'll see you later, listener. He patted your head before heading back to the sewers. You got back through your window and put this little phone to charge. It powered on like an hour later, and you added your phone number, you added your name, and it just had this whole system on it. It already had Mikey, Leo's, Raph's, and Donnie's contact. Donnie was the first one to text you. nobody else did because they didn't have your phone number just yet. And he said, welcome to your T-phone. This is where you can communicate with me and my brothers. And I installed an emergency system for you if you ever need help. So you can just call out to any of us. You're welcome, listener. You thanked Donnie 1,000,000 times. And put your T-phone away. You started to work on that essay from earlier. And then you went for a shower, put on some comfortable PJs, made yourself some tea or maybe coffee or whatever you like to drink, and sat down on your bed to maybe read a few books or just scroll on your phone as usual. Before that, you passed on a message to Donnie and said, hey, today was really fun. I really don't regret meeting you at all, Donnie. It was really fun meeting you. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe same time. Donnie replied, yeah, it would be fun. Maybe we could head down to the arcade after you meet my brothers. They love the arcade in downtown New York. You said, bet, sounds fun. Well, I gotta go to sleep now. School tomorrow. He said, yeah, of course. Night, listener. You replied, night, Donnie. You put your T-phone away, setting it on mute once you found it. Same for your phone on D&D, and headed to bed with Fluffball. Not headed to bed, headed to bed. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are very close to 5K finally. We will have a celebration on that, and I will be going live after this video uploads. You can either watch the video first, or you can get teeny tiny spoilers in my live, or I might not spoil it for you if you want to watch my live first. My Instagram, Discord link server, Wattpad, SoundCloud, and songs that I use, and etc. will be in the description below. Always in the description below. I will be doing more Mutant Mayhem content, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I still don't know about John Doe and Sonic. I'm thinking about it, and on my live stream I will be noting down everything you guys want, because I have a ton of new art supplies and notebooks that I can write things in. So don't worry, I will write down everything you guys need. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!